Hello, happy Friday. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving day. We are tracking a snowstorm which is coming here. I think many of you that are watching me right now are going to see half a foot of new snow here, or maybe even a little bit more than that. Our headlines: chance of a little light snow today and tonight. That would be just in the form of some flurries, but a good 4 to 8 inch snow accumulation is likely here Saturday into Saturday night, especially Saturday afternoon into early Saturday night. Snow covered and slippery roads to go along with that, an extended period of cool weather. In fact, it's not only cool now, but it's going to get even colder into the second week of December. So we're certainly into winter right now. I'll look at some snowfall totals we had here. This is over the past couple of days. Nagani is up at Marquette, the National Weather Service office. They're picking up just shy of 2 feet of snow. And in fact, by now, they may be over 2 feet. 2.5 inches fell at Lansing, 2.7 in Grand Rapids. About half of that kind of melted as it fell, but everything is below freezing right now, and there certainly are some icy spots. So beware of sidewalks, parking lots. Some of the driveways will certainly have some icy spots on them. A little bit more snow at Kalamazoo and Holland and White Cloud there as well, and over half a foot of snow has fallen at Muskegon, though again, a good amount of that has melted. Look how much snow they had in northern lower Michigan. There was a band of lake effect snow that occurred up there. It was forecast well, but Alba, Frederick, Hartwick Pines, Waters, that's where the National Weather Service office in Gaylord is located. Grayling, a foot and a half. Otsego Lake State Park. Happened to go there last summer for the first time ever. Really nice place. It was a little too cold to go swimming, but beautiful lake up there. And Elmira also at 18 inches of new snow. Those were areas east of Traverse City. Now, this is an interesting map from the National Weather Service. It shows the percent chance of 6 inches of snow or more. And you can see that percent chance goes from 91%. That's a high percentage chance of more than 6 inches of snow. Kalamazoo at 83%. Grand Rapids is 79%. A little bit less when you get up toward Cadillac. I can see a few spots up there picking up less than 6 inches of snow. But for most of us, we're going to get a good sock of snow here. This is really going to be interesting. The words over on the right side: snow expected Saturday morning into Sunday, with the heaviest Saturday evening and Saturday night, maybe into late Saturday afternoon. Several inches of snow likely across the area. Some areas, in fact, many areas, could see a little over 6 inches of snow. Roads will become snow-covered and slippery, reduced visibilities. I know there's a lot of people traveling here over this Thanksgiving holiday, and the roads are going to be snow-covered and slippery here most of Saturday and into the day on Sunday. Okay, 66-hour snowfall map, and look at that blob of yellow and orange. Wow, hey, we're not the only ones picking up on the snow. You can see this band of heavy snow is going to run from southern Minnesota and much of Iowa across at least the northern half of Illinois, into northern Indiana, far northwestern Ohio. There'll also be some significant lake effect snow east of Lakes Erie and Ontario. But you can see that orange area over West Michigan. If you look at the key right above my head right here, you can see that that's 8 inches of snow, and that's a good portion of the area that should be seeing some significant snow here. Let's zoom in a little bit. We'll take a look at the Great Lakes here. You can see a band of heavier snow off to the north, and that's the same area that picked up 18 to 24 inches of snow. So they're going to be seeing another bout of heavy snow up there. But boy, anybody that's doing any traveling down towards Chicago, look at the path of Interstate 80, which goes through Moline, Davenport into Des Moines. That entire stretch picking up 6 to 10 inches of new snow. So that's going to be tough. If you're traveling south, you'll find snow all the way down past Indianapolis, heavy snow falling east of Cleveland. There's just a lot of people that are picking up on this, and it will be cold enough for snow. We're not going to be seeing a lot of rain with this system. It will indeed be in the form of snow. All right, let's zoom in a little bit closer here, and I got something interesting to share with you. This is an experimental product from the National Weather Service. It takes a spot, and we picked Grand Rapids here, and the low end of snow that's expected. Now, this is over a 66-hour period, okay? It's not just one day. So we're over essentially a 3-day period. The low end is 9 inches. The expected is 11 inches. And again, this is snowfall, not necessarily snow accumulation. The snow is going to compact a little bit here. And I think that if we got 11 inches of snowfall, we may wind up with 7 or 8 inches on the ground, but that's still a good chunk of snow. Look at the high end, 19 inches. That would be over 3 days, and that would be if the heavier lake effect band sets up over Grand Rapids, which is not too terribly likely. But look at the percent chances. A 100% chance of 1 inch of snow, 2 inches of snow, 4 inches of snow, a 100% chance of 6 inches of snow. I wouldn't go quite that high myself. I shove it back to about 85-90%. But this is a high probability storm that's coming, and even a 19% chance of 18 inches of snow. Like I said, this is just one model, so don't go crazy over this. But it's a sure thing that we're going to see a significant snowstorm here. This is going to help the ski resorts to open early. And anybody that's into cross-country skiing, the cold air pattern is going to hang around through most of the month of December. So if you want to test out that new ice skating rink over toward Holland, that would be a good thing to do too. They got hot cocoa over there, and it's supposed to be pretty good. All right, let's go on here. This is from the Weather Prediction Center, and you can see the heavy snow is going to be where it's red, and that extends from Wisconsin across the state of Illinois, and moving off toward the northeast. The words here say over a 30% probability of WPC snow for more than 8 inches from southeastern South Dakota. This map, the map you see here is only for 24 hours. So there'll be some snow before that in South Dakota and northeast Nebraska, across all but far southwest Iowa, southern Minnesota, central and southern Wisconsin, and northern Illinois. The day 3 probabilities, which is what I'm showing you right there, for more than 8 inches are at least 20 to 40% for much of lower Michigan. Post-Thanksgiving travel is likely to be extremely disrupted during this event, and that's probably going to turn out to be true. So stay up, of course, with later forecasts. Okay, the lakeshore forecast. Things are calming down a little bit. I did see waves at the Mid-Lake Buoy, which is supposedly still out there, they tell me, that we're well over 10 feet out there, and that's just halfway across the lake. The forecast for today is for west to northwest winds, still on the brisk side, but waves should be down around 6 to 9 feet. Water temperatures have really dipped. In fact, over the last 2 days, Reed's Lake water temperature is down 4 degrees, and that will continue to go down. Of course, the tiny small ponds would be the first to freeze here, and the deepest lakes would be the last to freeze, i.e. Lake Michigan. And Traverse Bay is very deep. Torch Lake is deep as well. Small craft advisories will be in effect here during the day today. So we've gone past the gale warning is now down to small craft advisories. Today we'll have a hard time getting past 32, even freezing, though there really won't be much snow. I've got a 40% chance out of a few snow showers here, but not much goes on here this Friday. Road crews have been out salting, and things will be improving here during the course of the day. But keep in mind, if you're going north of Houghton Lake, where that really heavy snow is falling, roads there are snow-covered and slippery. And low temperatures well down below freezing there in the mid-20s. Here's high temperatures today. We're sitting at 33 for Grand Rapids, so low 30s, and that's pretty much the rule everywhere. Chicago 32, Detroit does make it to 35. They've had less snow over toward the Detroit area, so roads there are in better shape. And then we'll move on to Friday and show you a couple degrees colder. We're 31 here. Temperatures will be in the 20s across northern Wisconsin and parts of the UP. 24 degrees up at Ironwood. And they've had a lot of snow up there across the Porcupine Mountains. Some places up there picking up a good 1 to 2 feet of snowfall. We have some high temperatures for you from across the United States here. This is for Friday. The cold fronts made it down through Florida, and so temperatures there will be about 10 degrees cooler than Thanksgiving Day. We'll struggle up into the low to mid 70s in far southern Florida. but hold in the 60s from Tampa, Orlando, and Daytona Beach to the north. The cold air settles over Montana, much of the Dakotas, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, and into parts of New England as well. Here's a look at your 5-day forecast, 32 today, and then we go 30, 33, 29, and 30. Wow, those are some pretty cold temperatures. Keep in mind the average high temperature for this time of year is low 40s. It's around 42. So these readings are a good 10 degrees colder than average, and even a couple of 19s there at night. There may be a smidgen of sun today, but more clouds than not. And again, about a 40% chance of a snow shower or flurry, a 100% chance of snow here Saturday, especially afternoon, 90% on Sunday, especially in the morning, and there may be a lingering snow shower or flurry here into Monday or Tuesday, and maybe a break or two in the clouds, but a couple of cold, wintry days. Okay, the 8 to 14 day outlook, and this goes all the way to December 11th. Okay, I'm looking at it from kind of far away. And look at that below that's stamped right over Michigan and Wisconsin. So we will continue to see, on average, over that period, some very cold air. And I would assume that once this second cold front comes through, that there will be a third and maybe a fourth cold front. So I'm not anticipating any really warm air coming here in the first half of December. I think we're going to be on the cold side here. It will be a little warmer than average in southern Florida and South Texas. So if anybody wants to hop on a plane and run down south, you'll be able to find warmer weather down there. And in terms of precipitation, we're a little bit above average. And keep in mind that the water temperature of Lake Michigan at 42, 43 is still plenty warm enough to provide ample fodder for lake effect snow. So that would be something that we're going to have to keep an eye on. By the way, Marquette at the airport there has already had over 40 inches of snow this winter, and it's still coming. So, well, welcome to winter across West Michigan. And again, keep in mind some significant snow here, 6 inches or more possibility from Saturday into Sunday.
Sounds like Marquette is off to a great start.
Yeah, well, they know how to handle it up there. But yeah, I remember one time somebody sent me a picture that the snow had come all the way up to the windows on the first floor. There was a drift there and they couldn't see out the window. And I'm like, ooh, wow.
I flew in and out of the Marquette airport once, and there's 2 gates up there. And there was an American flight and a Delta flight. And the American people were going out this door. The Delta people were going out that door. And that was it.
No, neat. Yeah, there's a lot of people that go up there. You got some great ski resorts. Ski Brule is open for business. I haven't checked the list. I should probably do that and report on that, because all the ski resorts are going to be making snow. It'll be cold enough for that, and they will be rearing to go here during the month of December.
Okay, Barbara tells us another Dewey Hill fire occurred about 15 years prior to the one that you mentioned. They called for EMTs and other trained personnel to boat across to assist. My husband was in one of those.
Oh, no kidding. Wow. I don't know if I remember that or not. I was the MC of the fireworks show on Saturday night for, golly, what was it, about 10 years? I did that.
It was fun.
PBS was in charge of it for a while. And then we took it over, and I believe WZZM has done it the past 5 or 10 years. And we kind of let those, I don't want to intrude on their events or anything like that. If they're the sponsors, then, go for it, have a great time and all that. But I provided a lot of extra information. I talked about how many gallons of water was in the Grand River floating by us, and some of the historic floods on the Grand River, and really gave a little plug to people grabbing a flotation device. With the Coast Guard gave me a standing ovation when I said that the first time. And I went, boy, I better include that every year I do this.
But, you did used to work for both stations. So when you say we, you can legitimately say we for either one of them.
Yeah, that's right. And I enjoyed my time with both stations. I have nothing but good times to remember for both stations. And it was a great decision to stay in Grand Rapids. This is a fantastic place to forecast weather. There's a group called Weather Rate that tracks the accuracy of forecasts for the National Weather Service, the Weather Channel, AccuWeather, all the TV stations and whatnot. And I think it was 2019. They said that the hardest TV market to forecast weather was West Michigan. So I went, woohoo! That's us. Kind of neat. And the easiest ones were Phoenix, Yuma, and Las Vegas.
I think you got a job offer in Arizona once, and you said you would never want to go there. And I was like, why? Warm and sunny.
Yeah, but it'd be boring. And you have to do other things like, go and sample jalapeno peppers at the Pepper Festival in order to grow your audience, because they're not going to be as interested in weather. You're going to go, okay, the 8-day forecast is sunny and 105 degrees every day. But yeah, around here, weather's and people are outside here, and people don't just shut the curtains and hide in the well. Actually, here tonight we've shut the curtains, and I am hiding in the basement. But people go outside and enjoy the weather, regardless of what the weather is.
Okay, since we are a weather show, on November 28, 1905, there was a Lake Superior gale that destroyed 29 ships were damaged or lost.
29. Wow.
36 deaths in all. It was also called the, I'm going to say it wrong, Mataafa storm, because the SS Mataafa broke in two, it grounded, and the stern sank, and that one alone caused 9 deaths.
Yeah, see, that's so sad, because back then they didn't have weather forecasts like we have today. And you really couldn't make, predictions, very far in advance without the computer power that we have here today. So, yeah, I mean, those were tragic events. And, people are looking for a job, and it's maybe something you want to do. But, yeah, I mean, you risked your life in summer thunderstorms, derechos and whatnot, and in the wintertime when you get these strong storms. And you've heard about the gales of November. We have more of these storms in November than any other month.
And this image shows the U.S. Rescue Service, which became the Coast Guard, going out to the Mataafa to do a search and rescue.
Yeah, the Coast Guard does an amazing job. They really do. I mean, they're, people complain sometimes about paying taxes. I said that's one place where your taxes are going to do some good is with the Coast Guard and what they do. Everything from dealing with the buoys out in Lake Michigan that warn boaters of squalls coming, and rescues when boats start leaking and whatnot. So it's really a good work that they do.
All right, your trivia question for the day. This was the #1 pop hit in the United States, November 28, 1975. It was sung by KC and the Sunshine Band. The next week, Fly, Robin, Fly by Silver Connection took the #1 spot.
Okay, let's see.
I picked 1975 because I figured that would be like a time you were a young adult, probably listened to all the hits.
Yeah. Let's see. What did KC and the Sunshine Band? They did some good music. Get Down Tonight. What else did they do? Boy.
I'm gonna say it, and you're gonna go, "Oh yeah."
Yeah. If you gave me enough time, I'd come up with it.
That's the.
What was it again?
That's the way.
That's the way I like it. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, 75 is a long time ago. That was my first full year in West Michigan, and we were playing music back then. I would come in there and when some of the disc jockeys there, we would chat back and forth sometimes for a little bit of a break.
So we've got a lot of stuff from our friends that watch our show. So, yesterday we were talking about the city in Russia that's the coldest inhabited place.
Oh, in Mayakin.
Yeah, and I asked her what route it was. Well, she let us know she had flown from JFK in New York City to Beijing and then to Haneda. And in that flew over that city in Russia.
Wow.
So she sent us this from the Beijing airport to show the air pollution.
Wow. Yeah. There's tremendous air pollution.
Isn't that something?
Yeah. I remember, talking about the, pollution and whatnot, and the amount of money we would spend to make a scrubber on a smokestack 95% efficient as opposed to 92% efficient, where that money could be spent in places like Pakistan and China and get more bang for your buck if you're looking at the whole world and the amount of pollution that's going up. But yeah, it's hazy there, and that all that blocks out a little bit of sunshine.
So quite an adventure that Marilyn had on that trip. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for sharing.
Yeah, I wonder if that was business related or whatever.
Okay, Mike Kerr. This is Tennessee, Old Hickory Lake across the Cumberland River.
And look at the clouds in the distance. At first, I thought they were mountains.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you look at them from far away, and it looks like there's some hills. And of course, there's hills in Tennessee.
Tennessee is one of my favorite places.
Yeah, it is a beautiful spot. You don't get quite as much winter as you get up here in Michigan, but you still get a touch of winter.
Just enough to remind you why you left.
I remember an interesting story. I was in Knoxville, and it was a really cold winter day, and we were, shopping and looking around. Temperatures were in the, like the low to mid 20s or something like that. Mm-hmm. And we decided to stop at there's a place where the PBS station there, the PBS radio station, does what's called the Blue Plate Special. And they have a local artist come in and play some tunes for the better part of an hour. And every now and then, some really famous person like Tim McGraw would surprise everybody and go up there. And it's all acoustic, there. And there's room for not that many people. But while we were sitting there watching the concert, it started snowing really hard. And everybody left to go look out the window at the snow. And I'm like, what's going on? It's snowing. And, it's a blizzard. No, it's not. There's no wind, it's... But that was a fun little event, and they were doing a play-by-play on the radio. I almost said, "Hey, I'm a meteorologist. I can help you out here." But that was a fun event.
Well, thanks, Mike. We love Tennessee.
Yeah, we do. That's a beautiful place.
And Dave Verhoeven sent us a montage.
Oh, that's neat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you ought to see if you can blow that up a little bit here and look at some of those. A lot of sunset pictures here.
Let's see what I can do.
People enjoy those.
There we go.
Yeah,
that's
there we go.
Better.
A little bit better. It looks like, sunsets over water ranked pretty high on Dave's list here.
Yep, so many beautiful moments in time.
I bet most of those pictures are from Michigan. Neat. Wow.
He does have quite the life, though. He's got photos from a lot of places.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and here's another stunning one. Yeah.
Bernie, thank you. Yeah, that's awesome. Look at that.
How tall do you think that crash is?
I could probably look that up if I knew what lighthouse that was.
I think he said Muskegon.
Muskegon could be.
Muskegon
I bet online you can look and see what the height of the lighthouse is, and then you're probably 80% to the top. I mean,
it depends on which one. The South Pierhead Light is 48 feet tall, and the South Breakwater Light is 63 feet tall. Both are located at Pierre Marquette Park.
Okay, well, let's go with the tall one, 63. So if that's 63 to the top, you're probably looking at
48,
50?
49. Yeah,
something like that. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
You see why we tell people to stay off the piers and breakwaters.
Yeah.
Break walls, whatever you want to call them.
Mm-hmm.
They're technically a break wall because they break the flow of the water. They're solid, connected to the ground and all that.
Mm-hmm.
A pier would allow water to go underneath it. The piers are what you find, like in Florida and California.
Well, thanks, Bernie. And another one from Bernie.
Yeah, you got the snow.
And you can see the blowing sand.
Yeah. Yeah, that would hurt. You'd have a hard time, keeping it out of your eyes.
For sure.
And look at how there are multiple fences up, not just one, but there's looks like 3 of them there. And of course, when you have a really strong west wind like this, the water gets pushed toward the Michigan shore, and that water level actually rises a little bit. That's not an issue now because the water levels are a little bit below average. But when the lake levels get really high, that's a problem. You get beach erosion and some local flooding.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you, Bernie. And same thing, different place. This is, I think so.
That could be it. It's Benzie County.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the water going up there.
I lived there for a long time. You'd think I'd remember it better.
Yeah, I mean, that's where you got your master angler hat. With
Somehow.
that bowfin.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah, beautiful place.
Yeah. It's kind of neat with the lighter
Mm-hmm.
color there right above the horizon. And you got the,
Sometimes driving around in the winter weather in my little Saturn up there was a little, but we
Mhm.
made it.
Yeah, I remember driving that car.
Hmm.
You know, at one point in time, I technically owned 5 cars, one for each of you girls, and then one for me and one for your mother.
Hmm.
Wow, interesting.
And the snow in Benzie.
Yeah, that's pretty. They
Hmm.
didn't get quite as much snow in Benzie as they got in over even toward I-75 north of the higher elevations there. That band that came in from Lake Superior and then crossed Lake Michigan was producing snow at the rate of 1 to 2 inches an hour. So they really and of course they some of the kids were saying, "Oh man, it's Thanksgiving, so we don't get a day out of school. We should have saved the storm
Hmm.
for next week."
Hmm.
That's the way the snowflake flies, I guess.
Hmm.
Hey, we're done.
And thank you so much to everyone who sends in stuff for the show. We appreciate it so much. We're having so much fun, and we love that you share your experiences with us.
And keep an eye on the weather, everybody, because we do have the storm coming in. It will start snowing in earnest here during the day Saturday, probably during the morning. It will snow at a pretty good clip here Saturday afternoon and Saturday night into early on Sunday. And we could very easily, right now I've got 4 to 8, but with that we could easily jack that up to 6 to 12. So this is going to be a significant storm for us, a lot of cold air to follow. So it's going to stick around. And like I said, for those of you interested in doing some skiing or snowmobiling, this December looks like it's going to be a good month for you. Have yourself a great day. Drive safely out there.